I'm not teaching, I'm publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for the Life in UK test part 432 while doing morning stretching. And if you participate in the morning stretching, that is at your own risk. So you need to be able to correctly identify. Also, the same is true of famous works or places such as British inventions, cities of UK or the Commonwealth. However, we'll ask in a multiple choice question for cities. There they are. So there must be graphics. It can't be described as I told it. You may be required to correctly identify inventions or inventors. Identify British cities or answer questions on who wrote a particular novel, for example. Famous battle and events. There are many different battles mentioned throughout Chapter 4. You should be familiar with the key figures involved and where and why these things happened. Example questions could be, which of the following is a famous battle fought with the French during the 100 Years' War? Battle of Anicourt, 1450. And it was the vastly outnumbered army of Henry V. Where was the Battle of Britain fought? No, I'm not sure if I told that. They said the bombed cities were Coventry and the East End of London, and there was already there just two, are they naming there? They said it were the Spitfire and the Hurricanes of Royal Air Force, and where else is happening? I said that happened mostly about the Channel and over the south of England and the east, but where? Hitler wanted to invade Britain, but before sending in troops, Germany needed to control the air. The Germans waged an air campaign against Britain, but the British resisted with their fighter planes and eventually won the crucial aerial battle against the Germans, called the Battle of Britain, in the summer of 1940. The most important planes used by the Royal Air Force in the Battle of Britain were the Spitfire and the Hurricane, which were designed and built in Britain. Despite the crucial victory, the German Air Force was able to continue bombing London and other British cities at night time. This was called the Blitz. Coventry was almost totally destroyed and a great deal of damage was done in other cities, especially in the East End of London. Despite the destruction, there was a strong national spirit of resistance in the UK. The phrase "the Blitz spirit" is still used today to describe Britons put together in the face of adversity. I don't think at any other place was something written to the Battle of Britain, and I don't think they at any time named where it happened. I said that over the Channel, so the water strait between France and Britain, and the south and east of Britain. They never said where it was. I think we're going to do later a part of this whole Life in the UK section series, something about the Battle of Britain, because I have some questions. But not in the same that I have questions, but just I'm historically interested. Where was the Battle of Britain fought? I said it over the Strait of the Channel, the strait there between France and Britain, and over the south and east of London. The most bombed cities were East End of London, Coventry here named, but also other ones. And it were the Spitfires and Hurricanes which the British Royal Air Force had. They did not say where. Which king united the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms to defeat the Vikings? Alfred the Great, King Alfred the Great. Key pieces of legislation are just as important. You need to know when they happened and what the outcomes were. Yes, did we want to do exactly? We wanted to do the battles exactly. I hope they were listed in the appendix, just in one list, these 15, perfectly to learn, or perfectly, half a book in one page, learnable. And also to the acts. Now we're going to have to search them through. I resist a bit with using pen and paper and write them down. We're going to go through the book and learn the acts. I think they are mostly written in the timetable at the end. You should also be able to spot an incorrect combination for true or false questions. For example, is the statement below true or false? The Bill of Rights. We will do later on, after we have done all this, a lot about neurology neurology, and we will also learn what the name is in etymology. The more often you use some information with another information, the stronger the connection gets between the synapses. And if you learn what is something not, or you get false answers, you will connect these two. If you say A, you will have A connected always to B. If you say A, you think B. That's this psychological test where they ask you one thing, I name a bird, and you say something. That tells something about the psyche. If they say A, you say B, that is a normal answer. But there are also not so normal answers. And if they do a bunch of them, they maybe get a little picture of what the person you are. They might say lawn, and you think cow, or you think football, or you think lawnmower. There are many different things, but maybe you think also of something else. Maybe they use it even in criminology, and they want to know if you have someone in your lawn, if there's a murder case. So, what is this idea? You say A, and most people say B. If you say C, that would be unusual. Basically, everything says A. If I say 1, you say 2. That's how it works. We have a bunch of jokes with it. No. And the thing is, if you have now one thing, for example, they had here as example, the Bill of Rights. Now, if I say something about that has something to do with it, you will connect these two things more and more. You will study that deeper in neurology. They also use that. I see that it makes sense because you maybe encounter when you're in Britain someone saying the Bill of Rights has something to do with the modern welfare state. And you have to know when, no. The Bill of Rights, that is Bill of Rights, that is the right. Bill of Rights, that is the average rights. That is not the welfare state. The welfare state, that was Beveridge. The Beveridge report was about the welfare state. That was the example here. The Bill of Rights said, I'm not really able to explain it because I'm not really satisfied with the words used in the book. It says how much power the Parliament has and how the King has. So it has nothing to do with welfare state. No, it's the point. Now we have these two things next to each other. If I say A, you think B. If I say 1, you say 2. If I say Bill of Rights, you say the rights between Parliament and King. If I say Beveridge report, welfare state. You want these two connected. Beveridge, welfare, not the other ones. Now, we will continue at this place. Let's make fast here. That's our morning stretching time. But let's look here shortly what they say. Just this is the thing at the side. And I'm at least right about what I said here. The Bill of Rights 1689 confirmed the rights of Parliament and the limits of the King's power. It says what rights the Parliament had and it limited the rights of a monarch. We will look for that a bit better to have a better answer. Maybe we'll just answer the question for similar things. We will know better. Maybe we're going to do the Bill of Rights completely, in detail, a part of this series. So if you're just here for this series, then you will not have it. And if you're just here for this series, then you can go directly to the next part. We will do now just the morning stretching. If I participate in the morning stretching, that is it here out. We're having the legs standing a bit more than shoulder wide apart. And we're doing forward shoulder circuits. We're coming back, up, in front, and down. And the last one. Or a bit better example. We're going to tell you a name, the first name. And then you say, we'll make it fast, so you're just firing out. And when you're saying the second name, and that is then the second name of someone who's murdered, and we're going to ask, how do you know the person? So we're just saying a bunch of normal questions like, Richard Chamberlain or Winston Churchill. And then we're going to say Jane, and you say Doe. That's actually correct. Jane Doe is the title for the people used who are found. And then if the name is... Okay, we're talking a bit about terminology right here now. So Jane Doe is the title, is the name used for people if they are not identified. John Doe for people who are found if a male, and Jane Doe if they are not. So, and we're going to say them fast, 5, 6, 7 names, just prominent people, and you just say Andy, and you say Mary. And now we're going to ask Jane, and you say Doe. Not this case, because that is the case always used, but we're going to say a name of someone murdered, the first name, and if you directly say the second name, and that you didn't knew the person, you had not read of the newspapers of the murder case, we're going to ask, why do you know a second name? Or we're going to ask a place, or a time, or something like that. But the best example, because if we use it, you might not really understand it, we're going to ask you a name, and we're going to say Jane, and you say Doe. And we're going to ask, how do you come up with Doe? You did not knew that the person was last night murdered. How do you know it? So were you aware that you knew the person? How does it happen? How did it happen? And that's basically how it ends. And now if we always use Bill of Rights, we should not think the other thing. We should think damage report, welfare state, and not have something wrong in between. The brain works like that. The police uses it, and also psychology and so on. Next exercise, backward shoulder circles. Have we done backwards? It's not a problem to do that again. And front, up, back, down. And now we are breathing in and lifting the shoulders up. And breathe out. And again in and lift the shoulders up. Breathe out. And again in. And out. And again in, lift the shoulders up. Breathe out. And again in, shoulders up. And again in. And out. And with black arms up. And reaching high. And we're pretending to take an apple hanging high on an apple branch and to pluck it out. Just keep on breathing. And last two. One more, we started left. Perfect. And we shift again, time of the shifter. Arms out to the side, to the teeth, breathing in. And out, we're shifting just with the upper part of the body out to one side. And again in into the middle. And out to the other side. And again in into the middle. Out over to one side. Again into the middle. Out over to one side. In into the middle. And out onto our knees. The buffalo fighting its hangover, we're breathing in. And out one shoulder in front. Again in, shoulder back. And out the other one. In. And out. And again in. And out. And again in. And banging down. Breathe in. And out. And again in. And out over to the other leg. Breathing in. Out into the middle. We're breathing in. Out we come slowly off the front back and making it top backwards. Closing exercise, we're breathing in and out. Last strong breath in. Out. Out. And breathe in and close the legs. And out. Now we haven't done the garden pose or the seahorse pose, but I can tell you that the Bill of Rights is about the powers which the Parliament have, which the King says, limited, and the Budget Report is reporting about the welfare state. I thank you very much, and until the next time.